I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody's watching. Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching me. I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody's watching. Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching me.
And a very good morning to you this morning, and I'm your host Mikey of the Crochet Crowd, and welcoming you to a live stitch social where I'm actually working on the next stitch along for the summer. So we have the study of complicated that is being developed right now. When I say we, I mean all my personalities. So it's a reflection. So what is it? So it's a combination of what's in trend with a granny square trapezoid circle going out from my signature concepts of looking like textures. So it goes out from a round, it goes into a granny trapezoid ring, and then it goes back to a circle, and then it goes and eventually hits into a star. So I worked on the final that you'll see. Let me just get a sample and show you what it looks like. I still have to attach the flowers because I have to crochet the flowers fully yet. So the study of complicated is a reflection of complications of relationships, which, Daniel and I have been together 17 years, if you can imagine. So this is what the blanket will look like. So it goes from my signature center that you normally see in my stuff. So lots of texture. This is the final coloring. And then you're going to see a trapezoid granny circle that is done with Red Heart Biddy stripes. Super Saver Bitty stripes, color called grapey. And in this particular sample is that it goes to that. So we do the center first, we then do the ring. And then what we do is that we put the ring together. And you see how there's these flower petals here? That's what's holding the ring. So there's no sewing involved. And the trapezoids are actually done as a join as you go technique. So no sewing. So people are like, I don't want to sew nothing. There's nothing to sew. So anyway, I put that together. So it eventually goes out into more layers of stitches and layers and layers. And eventually what happens is it turns into a point. One of the things that I'm noticing today is that I'm looking through, and this blanket does not sit fully flat. So if you're expecting that, I think I can adjust for that. And I think I might, within the pattern, and just adjust the pattern so it sits more flat. I had this at the Greenbrier, a resort for our mystery retreat, and I was working on it. And then I started writing all these notes on my patterns of like what I need to change. But in that change, I've caused it not to sit flat because it was. So I need to reflect on that. So I need to diagram this out so that I can physically see it. I lack the ability to have foresight. So colors being put together is all a mismatch until it actually is done. So Daniel has that ability to be able to see that, but I never know what it's going to look like until I physically crochet it. So I don't have the insight to see that. So one of the things that I really wanted to do is highlight it with some white to pull it out. There was a crocheter that we had on Loose Ends, I think last week, where she uses white to highlight. And so anyway, I'd already done it, so I can't give her credit for that, but she was right about that. So the white actually gives us opportunity to be able to punch those colors. So what I did is that I did all the trapezoid grannies, all of them except for the final round, and then I laid it down in a circle and I said, okay, I want to put this one beside this one and then beside this one. So I started crocheting the final round and attaching them as they go, so it appears very random because it is. And so I did those in the car with Karen there with that. So if you are a Journey member, just letting you know that you do have access to this pattern with your membership level. I did put it out on the community notes this morning for the Journey members only. If you are a Journey member, do not share that link or I'm going to reach through this computer and I'm going to literally choke the living. Yeah. So anyway, so that's part of your membership to have access to that. You can print it. Just letting you know that I am working through week 5. We've had another Journey member that is currently working through. I'll just put this here. Is currently working through the pattern as well, and she's given me highlights and stuff. to look at and say, well, Michael, I think there's a problem here, there, everywhere. So anyway, so she's been helping me out. I think her name is Diana. I want to say Diana Krall, but it's not Diana Krall. Let me just see what her name was. So she's a Diana Krill. So it was close, Diana Krall. So Diana Krill has been helping me. She's actually been working through it, had a lot of great suggestions. One thing I really like the way that she's communicating with me is that she is, Michael, I think this is wrong. Here's what I think it is. Here's what I think the suggested edit is. And that's exactly what I do with your inspirations when I find an error. I just don't say, well, you know, the pattern's kind of screwed up. I show them where it is. I show them my thought process, and then I show them what the edit should be. And so Diana has made this journey very easy for me to be able to see what she's thinking. One of the things I disagreed with her about, but I disagreed with her because I had already made the change to it while I was at the Briar. And so what I did is that I altered the pattern in diagram format. Here, let me just see if I have that. So I altered so I had the diagram with me. So I altered it when I was at the Briar to make it a lot easier to follow. I had it, I don't even know what I was thinking. So I had it like 3 single crochets in the first chain 3 space, 4 single crochets in the next, and then 2 single crochets in the next space. And I thought, shit, if I just make 3 single crochets in each space all the way around, it's the same shit. So anyway, so but she highlighted that, you know, maybe there's a better way of doing that. And I'm like, yeah, there kind of was, because I kind of found that error. So I was actually, there was a picture of me during the retreat. I was actually on the Amtrak train and I'm crocheting away. And that's exactly where I found my problem. So I spent my time on the train. It was a 3-hour ride. And then I ended up frogging after the first hour and realizing that I just need to rewrite this concept, frogged it back out, and then restarted. So by the time I got off the train, I had fixed my problems. Stitching problems, I should say. So if you're new to us, I am Michael from the Crochet Crowd, here broadcasting from Nova Scotia, Canada, and I'd like to welcome you to our community. We have a lot of new crocheters come and go a lot within our community. Some people like the way I teach, other people don't, but I think it's really important that that you find a crochet host that works with your personality. And I keep thinking about, because I'm not old, that where I had some great teachers when I was a kid, and then I had some really terrible teachers. You know who you are. You live rent free in my head because of the crap you put me through. So you find that you start a new grade and then you're not syncing with the teacher's moving at a pace that doesn't make sense. And so eventually after 2 weeks with the teacher, you realize that when they burp, they're going to follow it with a fart. You know what I'm saying? You get used to their routine. And so it's important that when you find a crochet host or somebody like me online, that you kind of just give them a chance and just see, is it going to work with their personality or is it not? And I tend to use a lot of slang. I tried to get my certification in crochet and I was declined on that. You know who you are. And anyway, so they needed me to change my lingo, and because I had videos, they were able to see that I'm not teaching in a standard format, and they said, well, we can't certify you. I'm like, screw this stuff, I'm going to move ahead on my own anyway. And so I use a lot of slang because my mom used a lot of slang, because this is how bad it is, folks. I started teaching this thing on 2008, and I didn't even know what a yarn over was. I know. So I'm watching another host. I'm like, what the hell is a yarn over? And so then I'm in the Google, what the hell is a yarn over? And I'm like, oh, it's my mother's version of wrap the hook. And so there are ways to be able to teach and explain things, and I break the rules when it comes to that, right? So I should let you know. So I'm not always accurate when it comes to that. I got called out a couple days ago. Your pattern doesn't match the video, but I noticed a lot of people don't use both in tandem. So either follow one or the other, but sometimes I go off on my own track and sometimes I just do the wrong damn stitch, but it works out, right? So anyway, so that's kind of what we have coming on, and we have some great people here. I just got a notification a couple days back that Gordon here is coming to Nova Scotia. I don't even know if that's supposed to be a secret, but coming to Nova Scotia in August. So we have 2 completely full bus trips coming every Every seat is sold on this bus. It's going to be a party. And I think what is my biggest, there's two biggest things that I'm really looking forward to with this group of people is that, so Gordon ends up, whatever. And so I'm looking forward to two things. I'm looking forward to people coming to the Maritimes for the first time and smelling our air. I think that might be the most stupidest thing you probably ever heard, at least today. So I always find when I come home to Nova Scotia and I leave the airport, we have an international airport, but honestly, from parking your car to the gate of the airline is about 15 minutes. It's an international airport, but it's really quite mighty and strong, but really quite personable. So I'm really looking forward to these crocheters coming off the planes. For those that are, some people are driving in. Some are actually driving quite a distance, actually coming over. I think somebody's in a motorhome actually, and spending time with us, and then getting back in their motorhome and continuing on with their journey. But I'm really excited about them to smell the air. And when I'm home and I get out of the airport, and sometimes we have to park on the tarmac and come down off the stairs in there, depending on the size of the plane. And when that plane door opens, it's like, oh my God, I'm home. And I am really quite excited for the crocheters to experience that. We have a very interesting air here. So yeah, so it's a combination of evergreen trees, fauna, the salt air, and just a whole lot of happiness mixed into it. So really excited. And the second thing is that we're looking forward to putting together a bus party list of what's playing in the bus. So the bus is ours for the entire week. The driver's staying with us. We have the house and feed the driver with us because he's with us all week. He or she, we don't know. And anyway, we're really super excited because we're running the bus. We're able to play the music and, having a good time. And we're never on the bus for very long. That was my only rule with Karen. If we're going to do something, I don't want to be on a bus for 5 hours. So the longest trip we're ever going to have is 2 hours, I believe, maybe just over 2 hours, and to be able to get to where we need to go in there. So I just don't want to spend all my time on a bus because it's kind of a waste. So we've got it all planned out that it's going to be fun and fabulous here, and we have some surprises for the group. I've actually kept my mouth shut about some of the surprises. I know that's a surprise on its own. Ta-da! So I'm really super excited about it. We're possibly doing a Prince Edward Island tour next year. Karen is in the works, trying to figure that out. And we also have another possible surprise that she's currently working on next week that we're really super excited about. It'll be another live event that I think is going to capture some eyes on social media for sure. Okay. So anyway, so Wendy is like saying you kept a secret, like, oh my God, I know, I'm gifted, Wendy, I'm gifted. So anyway, so really super excited about that. The thing that's happening here at home though, because we have a rule, and maybe you can comment in the comments, we have a rule that there's nobody allowed on our property with the exception to the courier drivers, because they bring us our shopping lists and stuff. But we have a rule that nobody's ever to show up, and don't try to self-invite yourself to our house. So and because of that, we have these bus tours coming through. And anyway, Daniel is almost getting to the point where it's less than a month away for tour number 1. The second tour is in August. And oh my God, the man just bought a chicken coop cage. We don't even have chickens yet. So we'll have chickens in about 3 weeks. Are we dumb? Yes. Anyway, so he bought these, he ordered chickens to be hatched. So anyway, 15 of them, but they're small chickens. So we got that. So anyway, so he's got all these projects on the side. And so the guy orders chicken that we don't even. So anyway, we had to get the cage for that. And, I know, it's stupid. So if I want chicken, just head my ass over to Swiss Chalet or KFC. That's as good as it's going to get. So anyway, so we do have that rule. When we first moved here, we had people just showing up. Hey, I know you're living here. And I hate that because I may be in the middle of a thought process because I'm such a manic piece of work that I don't want people showing up. So Anyway, so because of that, we had to clean the house. I've been cleaning my office, as you can see. I know that was painful on its own. So yeah. So that's kind of what we have going on around here. Everybody's good. The dogs are sleeping just outside the door. It's that time of year where the studio door can be open, and just working uh, along the way. So yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of what it is. You know, when I was younger, my parents used to have company all the time, and then something flipped, and it may just be a social thing, but then they stopped having people over completely. And I grew up like in my very young years. You know, it's 8 o'clock. You better go to bed while mommy and daddy have adult time with alcohol and friends. And so that kind of stopped. I think we're on 6 or 7. So my parents never had anybody over. So we kind of got used. That's kind of part of my life where you literally have nobody over. And when people do come over, it's awkward as hell because they're in your space. So I don't know about you at home, and I see people are commenting to this topic as well, is that your home is your own personal space. So as much as I like taking photographs and sharing a piece of myself with you people, I don't necessarily want you in my house either. Isn't that terrible? I'm a horrible person. Just unsubscribe right now. But it's kind of true. I like my distance from that as well. The other thing that has been rattling around in this old head of mine is that I just saw a couple nights ago, and if you're on my personal profile on Facebook, you can see that as well, is that I just watched the Rubens story. What was his first name? Pee Wee Herman. What was his first name? Rubens. Oh my God, I can't even, Paul. No, I don't even remember his first name. So Pee Wee Herman documentary, what a fascinating documentary that was. And I'm more fascinated by the fact is that this guy, because there's no social media, in order to have entertainment, you got to get your ass out of your house and into the theaters. For him, if he wants to socialize, he has to pick up a phone or go to something. And I thought, in today's era, I am so comfortable with my phone being my communication that I end up surrounding myself with four walls and I don't get out much. And I was just really, I posted it to the crowd too. So I am really fascinated in today's era. What was his name? Paul Rubens. Thank you, Michelle. Um, I just was fascinated that would he have had fame in today's era when literally so many people I know, including myself, I'm going to throw myself under the bus and just say, you know, if there was no cell phone in my life, I would probably get out. I'd probably walk more. I probably wouldn't be as fat as I am. Don't even get me started on that. So I just think that I was watching an Oprah thing a few days ago. I needed some uplifting in my life, so I kind of watch her stuff. She's the inspiration that created the Crochet Crowd, to push me to look at things differently. And anyway, she was talking in a podcast about with their guest that the cell phone era is probably in the last 10 years that it is literally stealing your life away from you because okay, I see something, take a photo. I see something, I take a photo. And I can't remember really what I saw, but I look at it on the photographs. I'm like, I remember it from this perspective and not from putting down the damn phone. And so I'm good at being able to put down the phone, work in the yard, come back and visit the phone later. But having it right beside me all the time has become a detriment to my life. And so it's a good thing to have all this access to crochet, but it's also a time put the phone down and just stitch, you know, and that's kind of where we're going to go for that. So anyway, so stuffed dogs, they call it a compound because they can count on the one hand the number of people that have visited in 8 years, and I've been here and I'm really okay with it. So the compound, yeah. So anyway, so I was a little too old for Pee Wee Herman. His humor when I was a kid. So I was in more of my later years when Pee Wee Herman was on. My brother loved it, but I don't like that kind of humor. I like innuendo, and I didn't realize until in perspective that there was a lot of innuendo. So I love innuendo. My parents had a lot of innuendo. I had this one woman a few years back saying, your mother would be ashamed of all the innuendo you use. I'm like, you haven't even met the woman. Where do you think I got it from? Sweetie, they're wrapping presents all fall. You don't go upstairs. But then they're still wrapping presents in January and February and March. And I'm like, oh my God, they're getting ready for Christmas, only to realize there's innuendo and to do that. So, yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of one of those things that I kind of like innuendo. I like surprise humor like that. A bit raunchy, absolutely, but you follow me, you pretty much understand that. So yeah. So Pee Wee Herman got on your nerves. So it's not for everybody, but I was surprised. Cowboy Curtis was actually the main guy from Matrix. So he worked with some pretty big people at the beginning of their careers. I was flabbergasted by that element. Like he was like literally David Hasselhoff, Knight Rider. He was, or I guess you would know him from Baywatch. But like, holy cow, you worked with these people when they're trying to actually get a leg up. And yeah, so people either like something or they don't, but isn't it wonderful that you do have a choice? And it's very much like I was talking at the beginning of our broadcast, is that a YouTube host could either work with you or don't. I shouldn't even say this. Psst. Really bothers me when somebody has chipped nail polish when they teach crochet. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, so that's just my thing. I can't get past it because you're looking at their hands. And so I never do any hand treatment. Sweetie, I don't even use lotion. I am raw dogging the crochet big time. So I don't do anything with my hands. I did actually do a little bit of nail polish and just for one of the trips that you can see on some of the videos, but it's not something that I do. So anyway, so that's kind of one of those things. And I also have what is called as Tulio. And Tulio is when the sound reverberates back into your ear. I never realized I had it until the Jimmy Bean's retreat last year, and I was suffering big time. And so there's certain octaves of a woman's voice that literally just goes right through my head and bounces back and is extremely painful. And if you're a guy on here, that is not an open comment to say it's a woman's voice. There's just a certain tone. I actually have a close friend where her tone is literally goes right through my ear twice, and I'm like, oh, and I know it's coming, and I'm like, oh, but she's a good person. So anyway, and I do have earplugs if I ever need to. So sometimes I go to group, not very often, but I go to group with my earphones, and it's not to my stitch group, it's not to block people out, but it's to stop the reverberation of the sound that's going around. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, so that's kind of what we have going on. So anyway, what else do we have going on? So it's not you, Karen. Honestly, it's not you, because I was sitting with you last night on your deck. Yeah. So anyway, it's not you. You know the person I'm talking about, though. Yeah, so apparently Karen's coming to Stitch Night tonight. So Karen Ellis that you see there is my great neighbor. She's also our event coordinator for the Crochet Crowd. As a good friend, she's works in the creative. She worked in the creative industry, so she understands me. Anyway, so I had a point. Yeah, there she is. So yeah, so I had a point, Karen. I don't even remember. So Karen and I and Daniel had a fire last night because we're rehearsing for our Nova Scotia trip. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of what we have. So summer challenge, or did I miss something? So okay, so it is a summer challenge. I am going to be working on the diagram. I'm just chatting with you now, and so the diagram is on week number 5. I did up to week number 4 already, and the diagrams. Some people hate the diagrams, some people don't, but I am a big believer of them. And so the diagram is going to be provided with the written instructions if you are going to do that. Just a friendly reminder, if you are a Journey member here on YouTube, you did get a message this morning from me through the Journey membership portal. It's on the community tab on YouTube with access to this pattern in advance. So that's part of your membership level to have advanced stuff like this. I've been working on this pattern I think it was January, right, Karen, when we went away? Karen and I went away, and I sat at the table, and that center circle to make the trapezoid was my nemesis. It took me a whole day to do it. And anyway, we had a great weekend. So we went shopping before we went on the trip, and we had more alcohol than food. And you know what? We left, and we were like, wow, we really overcompensated for that. But anyway, we didn't drink nearly as much as we thought. I know. Just never go shopping when you're upset about something, because you tend to buy too much food and too much alcohol. Yeah. So anyway, so we're gonna head on over to our thing. So if you are a Journey member, if you head on over to the community tab over on YouTube, on our homepage on YouTube, you'll find there was a note for you this morning that only you can see. I'm asking that you do not share that link out, please and thank you. It's part of your membership level. It's a thank you for the extra support that you do give. So we're going to head on over, and I am going to jump screens. So my issue that I'm having, and I have a lot of issues, but my issue that I'm having is that this circle eventually transitions to a star, and it's going to be a 21 point star. And we need to figure out the highs and lows, because it's going to start off as a circle. Sorry, it's going to start off as a circle. I'm on the wrong screen. So it's going to start off as a circle, but then it has to make itself to a point, and I need to get the heights in order to make that to work. And there's 21 points, as I mentioned. So what I think I need to do, because I've done this before and I really suffered my way through the whole process, but I think that I need to just figure out the height of what the ultimate goal is to do something like this. So, and what I need to do is that within each of the rounds, I'm going to move everything and make sure the locks are all off. So what I got to do is that I got to make sure, you know what, I think I'm just going to open the canvas. No, that did not work. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make the canvas bigger. And I have to figure out what is the highs and the lows of this guy. This is a lot easier than the study of possibilities. That was something else. So what I'm going to do is that I'm currently on round number 13. So that finished off week number 4. And so I am just going to start grabbing stuff and seeing what's going to happen. We're going to move this over. We're going to save. And we're going to, okay. So what I need to do is that I need to start looking what's round number 14, and what I'm looking to do the most is looking to creating the height so I can see it. So we're going to grab some stitches and see what happens with this thing. So I'm just going to grab something just for the fun of it. It's going to be this guy. Oops. So this template that I'm using is now for sale. There was a request during the last retreat to sell the pad. I would sell that, so I am selling that. You'll find that over on our shopping portal if you are interested in that. So, and it's not cheap. And I'm meaning it's not cheap. I'm not selling it for $2. It's taken years to do that. So, so anyway, so I just need to get the height. So I'm looking ahead to what the pattern is suggesting. And I'm going to match the height of this thing. So I need these. So that was 14. This is 15. Okay, 16. I think you'll like this pattern. It's pretty easy. Okay, Okay, that was 17. I did a lot of double crochets to make it go faster. Do you like faster? Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. So that was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Is next. 19. 20 is the same. You take a look at 21. So what do we got? So we got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21. 22 is the same. And you're welcome. So that was 22. This 23. Of course, I have to screw it up. So now we're going to have 20. I'll just throw that in. It's this one. Okay, this one was lower. Who is that? That's the guide. I would take the guide out. Okay. Okay, so that was 24. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 25 is this one. 26 is that one. 26, 27 is that one. And so then we have 28 is the final. Okay, so I have my height that I need to get to here. So we're going to have to be able to get, so we got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, so what I need to do is that we need to put the guide back in so that we can see it. And I'm going to take a copy of it. We're going to move it back to the center. And my goal, I have goals, I know, it's shocking. My goal is to see what it's going to look like because it progressively gets into square, into there. So between here and here is the point. So now, okay, give me a thought process. So if there's 21 of these guys, so let me just see where the 21 is going to land. So we're going to 360 degrees divided by 21 points. And okay, so there is there. So we are going to then make, I'm just guessing at this point. So we're going to make what appears to be a 21 point star. So we're going to do a star tool. Okay, and so we got 5 points, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we have 21 stars, points. then what we need to do is that we need to alter these guys here. Before I do that, we're going to move it to the center. And then we're going to get bigger. And I'm trying to get the point to match that ring right there. Okay, and then we're going to rotate this so he matches at least the top one. And so now what we have to do is we have to consider that we're going to move and then we're going to get bigger. Pain in the ass, right? I'm just going to go here. Now we're going to adjust down. And how do you adjust the corners? How do I get more pointier? Because it's going to be something like that. So, okay, so let me figure out the combination. So we have 14 to 28. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we have 13 steps. So what we need to do is that we need to convert ourselves from a circle that's here to this with 13 steps in between them. Smooth colors, specified steps, and there's 13 steps. I don't know why that is doing that. Okay, that did not work. Okay, I'm just going to leave the guides there, and I think we're just going to go for it. And I'm going to take, shoot, maybe I shouldn't. Oh dear, 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 dear. What I'm going to do is that start building. Okay, well, you know what? I think I'm just going to start building, right? So anyway, so that's kind of, so this is called Adobe Illustrator for those that are interested. So we're going to have to consider our steps, and what I need to do in the pattern is to indicate how to easily count this thing. And so the counting is actually pretty easy. Okay, so what I want to do is that we are going to have some single crochets. So let's just start and create a new layer. Round outer, so 14 outer ring. There we go. And I need to do some single crochets in place. This is actually really difficult to do. Just, I'm not trying to be I was kind of not looking forward to diagramming this part. And we're going to make him bigger. And so we have this guy coming out here. So we will have to probably adjust them. So let's just take a look at the pattern. It says skip the next 2 stitches. So the next 2 is right here. So this guy was actually here. I'm going to lean him just ever so slightly. So skip the next 2 stitches, 1 single in the next 7. So let's just place these guys here manually. So, oops. So in the particular sample, this, what I'm doing is actually really quite dominant. So there's 6, and then there's 1 more. You know, if I was smart, I would actually consider what it looks like below. And then I would then have the radius for that. So how many was there below? There was 420 stitches. If I can get it to rotate properly, there's 420. 360 divided by 420. Let's just see if that works. Yeah, that's better. I have the rotation on it. It's good. Oops, that one's wrong. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This guy is out, and that guy is a small popcorn. And small popcorn equals 3 double crochets into the same stitch. So we're going to need a popcorn. 3 double crochet popcorn. And we're gonna just turn him on this angle, and we're gonna make him stout. So here, and we're gonna bring him down. and then rotate. Okay, so we have a popcorn, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's what it says to do. And then it says to skip. So what I need to do is that I need to so this angle sucks. So we're gonna make him if I just let's put him on the outer ring, 14, right, bring to the current layer, and make him blue. So I need to change the angle of these guys. So we're gonna make and I'm going to make him a bit shorter. And we'll make some copies of him. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll make some copies of this. Oops. Reach him over. Get him out. Get rid of him. He's down a little bit. And we're going to rotate him up. I have to get this angle right because it's the first transition it's going to do to the star. I don't want to change the thing. So these guys are all wrong on this side. So we're going to ungroup, take these guys out, and we're going to reflect these guys and make a duplicate of it. And so then we have the other one going down the other side. Okay, I don't love where this guy is right here. I'll push him out. And there you go. So the goal is that eventually this here will turn into a straight line going up, but for now it's not going to in this round. Okay, so we're going to get rid of these guys here. And I told you there was 21 points. So we're going to put these guys together as one group. And then these guys are all going to group together. So anyway, I did a whole series of how to do this stuff, and I recorded for 2 hours, and turns out my sound was not recording. So I had done like all this video work without any sound. Yes, it was a pain in the ass. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this guy around, and we are going to spin him. And so he's the first one of week number 5. So that red thing I'm moving is called the registry mark, which changes the center point of that shape. So 360 degrees divided by 21 points. And copy. And so he's going all the way around 21 times. And so I'm not going to worry about labeling the diagram and making all the starts and stops until the end. Okay, so we're going to create a new, we're going to lock these rounds and create a new one. So 15 outer ring. You don't have to sign up to StreamYard, no. You should be, if you're watching and commenting right now, you don't have to sign up. Yeah. So yeah, so Jilly is joining us this morning, just looking back. We are just working our way through. So I'm just working on diagram work so that crocheters have an opportunity to learn. So we're going to look at it from a perspective. We know that the heights in this is correct. So we just have to figure out what the height is in the center point. And in the center point on number 15, we are going to skip the small popcorn, double crochet in the next 6 double crochets. So we're going to go back here and we're going to grab a black double crochet here. So as this progresses, it's going to get more and more into a point. So I think at this point, we are going to start doing a transition from here to here. We'll do that as green so we can see it. So I use green as my indicators. So the hardest point of this is that we need to maintain distance. And so we have to figure out, and there's going to be a drop here at the center point. Let's just put a center point in here. It's going to be around there somewhere. Okay, we're going to make that as a guide so we can see it. So that's going to be the center point. And so what I need to do is to figure out the distance of stuff that makes sense. So let's just get the right angle first. There. I'm just putting that green behind. So I need the distance to match. And I have a total of oh shit. It's actually one of these. So number 15 is actually this again. And then I have, let's just put this on the outer ring. So now what I want to do is I want to get the distance to match along this line. And so there is a total of, let's just do this. I need to get these stitches to be equally balanced because they're not equally balanced right here. So I'm going to have to start because it's going to start coming down on to this. Okay, so I have how many stitches? I have 3 notes. Yeah, I have 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 stitches. So if I have 11 stitches, I need to figure out the distance between all of these. So the distance will be, there's already 2 there, so 11 minus 2 equals 9. This will be the distance between the stitches. So we're going to just move these so we have them right distance, so we have the right angle, and we're going to just do the distance. So I can do a copy and paste and to do what I just did with those green lines, but what it does is it changes the context of the symbol, and therefore I cannot alter the symbol without any ease. So to cause the shape, actually those 3 are right there. So to cause the shape to bend down, I have to skip a certain amount of stitches here. So we're gonna ungroup these guys. And ungroup. And we're gonna start alternating those. Oh, these guys should have been black. So for those that so those that are following, I don't know if people really have a comprehension of how much work goes into these diagrams, but people probably don't even care, honestly. I want the same. Remember how I altered the tops of these? I want the same so that I can copy and paste. So I am going to do that. So what gives my hands a hard time is the short keys for this program. So if people are watching television, what is your go-to? I guess we didn't need that one. 1, 2, 3. What is your go-to for just putting on something to, oh, I guess I didn't need that one. What is your go-to to actually watch television for just crocheting, but you just want something easy to watch? I was watching the other day Arrival for the millionth time when they find the spaceship stuff. Okay, so there we go. So we know that. And then it said to double crochet in the next two. So these guys are going to reach over to here. So summer reruns. Schitt's Creek, I have never really watched. I've saw a few episodes. I never got into it, but so skip that. Skip the next two stitches. So we skip 1 and 2, and then this goes to here. So this here skipping is what causes the star to start formation, and I know that from experience. So the reason why I turn the symbol completely from the top is that the bottom kind of stays consistent with the angle. In crochet, those middle cross beams right here need to be on an angle, and they need to be always on the same angle. So I can't, the stupid thing about crochet diagrams is that if I do a copy and paste of this thing, these angles are on the wrong side, and it makes a difference visually. I don't think it makes a difference to the symbol itself, but visually it doesn't look consistent. So we got crime shows. Apparently there's wildfires in Canada. I did not know that. So I'm okay with that, I suppose. Like I'm okay. I'm not okay with the fires, but I'm okay. I didn't even know there was any. So my only concern that I'm having at this point, I don't like how this is pointing here. I'm going to open these guys up. Just kind of space them into the space a little bit better. I think it'll look better. See how this cross is not right. The angle is wrong for the angle. I'm going to get rid of these guys. And we're going to reflect. So the diagram work, for those that are unfamiliar, helps me to be able to see where I'm going in the pattern. It's very much of a visual. It's a visual confirmation that the instructions that I'm doing are is making sense. I can physically count the stitches instead of using my fingers and toes. And what we need to do is that this here is duplicated on the other side. So we're going to take these guys here and we're going to duplicate. Actually, we've already done that. We've already duplicated these 3, so we just need these 2 and all of these. And we're going to reflect, copy, and we are going to come in here. And because it's a duplication, the stitches should work out to where they need to be. Okay, so all of these cross beams are on the wrong side, so we have to change those. So if crochet symbols ever become the point where that's just a straight line across, it would be just like you can paste and copy like that. But because of the angle of the stupid things, it changes the look. I have heard some diagram or some designers, they don't bother with the angle of that. They just keep it always the same. And so therefore they don't have to do what I'm doing right now. But then I kind of want to be consistent. So if you buy a pattern book, that my diagram is similar to what's in the book. So is anybody doing anything fun these days, or do you have a favorite pattern that you like to crochet? Something, a pattern that is mindless and comforting. I like doing palliative care, easy repeat patterns, and then the blanket goes to someone in need. I find them kind of mindless. The Elizabeth stitch, we have the palliative care section of our website that you'll find stuff like that. So here is what this point will look like. And so we're now establishing the angle going up. So I feel something is wrong. I can't put my finger on it yet, but I feel something is wrong. Okay, we're gonna spin those around. If something is wrong, I'm gonna see it right now once I do this. Let's try again. Divide by 21 points. There it is. That's the problem. It's right there. Okay. I can see it. Oops. The angle is not correct. Okay, what is wrong? And I think what is wrong is that I'm not actually at the center of the point. Let's just do that as green and let's just figure that out. I think the center point is wrong. And let's just figure out where the center is. There it is. That's my problem. The center point of this is off. And so if I don't fix that right now, I've got a problem. So the center point is right here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change. I can do it in this round here, is that I'm going to make this as a guide so I can see it. I need to change the center of this piece so it's just slightly over. So what is my step? My step would be we move him over. Because see, the center point is just changed here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have a total of 9. We're going to expand that. We're going to ungroup. So we have to recalculate the distance of the stitches. So what I think is going to happen, which is my experience, is that I think that the tops of these are too wide. So I'm going to narrow them down a little bit. And I'm going to get rid of these guys and redo that. So I have 9 in between these guys. When I'm sitting here by myself and the camera's not on, then I'm saying the same damn thing. Okay, so we're going to take this guy and we're going to copy him over and place them at the crosshairs. So what I need to do for this particular diagram, it's easier to work my way down from a gapping spot here and going to the top than it is going the other way. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get rid of these guys here. And I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to duplicate it over. Reflect. So I'm just looking for my distance that I have. It's around there somewhere. So now we're going to take this guy and we're going to duplicate him down. I think it's faster just to drop them like this, because then the angle is already figured out. No, it's not. Yeah, I can do it. So if you don't mind, Anne's talking. If you hit that like button or love button or whatever button, it does help me a lot, to be honest. I always forget to tell people to do that. I find it annoying when a host always says like and subscribe. It's necessary, but I hate doing it. I feel like I'm begging for likes. Okay. So what I'm doing here is that I shifted the center point slightly. People will be able to see it if they're really looking for it. But I'm just shifting that center point ever so slightly so I get center, so I can handle the changes within this. If I don't do this, what's going to happen is the whole diagram is going to look warped. So if you are a Journey member and joining us today here on YouTube in the community tab, or in our or post tab on our homepage of YouTube, you'll find this pattern. It's currently in development. It's part of your membership level to have access to early materials like that. So make sure it is a Journey member. There you go. Yeah. My friend Teresa just got a hold of me. So I think round 17 is where we're wrong on the train. I talked about that at near the beginning of the broadcast, that I kind of went off the rails a bit for the pattern. So it's kind of caused the pattern to ruffle out. So I think I'm able to fix that here as I'm in the process now. And I am just working my way through to making it look equal. The red guideline right here is the official center point of the diagram. So we're going to work with that. And what makes this will work, even though I'm changing the base section here slightly, what's going to make it work is the distance of the tops of these stitches. That's what's... So even though the base is slightly off, it's the distance at the tops of the stitches that matter the most. And that will put me back in alignment without having to redo everything. Okay, and then we have to skip 2 stitches. So this one is here. So 1, 2 are skipped. And those skipping of those 2 stitches are is what makes the bend for turning into a star. That feels wrong. What a sin. The way that that's angling is wrong. I am going to do a test to see where that is. This stitch appears 21 times, 360 degrees divided by 21 times in a circle. Oh, damn. What is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? The only thing I can think is that's wrong. Let's unlock the guides. Unlock. I bet you. I think this guide is wrong. I think the angle is wrong. Let's make him height. And let's rotate him. (360 degrees divided by 21 points. Let's do 42 points, so I have up and down. It's 21 points, so 42 would be the base of the in between the points. 21 times 2 is 42. The customer will never see these guidelines. It's more for design phase. And we're going to lock the guides. Lock guides. So the center point is right there. So that means that this was truly never in the center point. Okay, so we're not only going to fix the top points, but we're going to fix this region right here. I told you these stars are a real pain in the ass. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this. What did I say there? Nine points, yes. I'm gonna get rid of these. And I'm going to make him longer. Okay, I think I got it. So with these stars, by the time you get to the outside, it's really the point is really quite pronounced, but until you get there, it's a slow raise up. Okay, so that's Daniel. Just Daniel and I probably talk more on our phones than we do in person. Anybody else like that? Oh, Wendy, you're just making me laugh. I see what you did. Okay, so we know that's true. These are right. I'm just going to repoint these just a little more accurately. So for those that don't read diagrams, the base of a symbol is pointing directly to where it needs to go. So crocheters are designers that are not that accurate with it. Sometimes it's questionable where they're sticking their stitch. Okay, so we'll do this side too. Okay, and then we'll change the bottom angle. So in this one, we're skipping the popcorn. When we're skipping that symbol right there, the popcorn, when we go to do it. So for those that are joining us today, if you were to see a crochet retreat, where would you like to see one? We have some thought processes going on at the moment, but location is everything, of course. And we have to keep in mind that I do get messages when I'm in a retreat. You should have did it in this state or this province or this part of the world instead, because it's so they don't have to drive. So I had a woman during one of the years of the crochet cruises, and she was so upset we were doing a cruise out of Florida because she lived in Seattle and she didn't want to spend money on an airline ticket. And I'm like, so I messaged her back and I said, well, you know, we can do Seattle, but I said, then other people that are potentially driving to Florida are going to have to buy a ticket for airline. And her response to me was, well, at least she doesn't have to pay for that. And I'm like, okay, then. So, so some people have considerations for this stuff, and other people are just more looking at their own need instead of the needs of the many. I felt the angle was wrong on that, which it was. So, yeah, the FOMO is currently kind of a problem. Oh, you don't need to be sorry for that. That comes with the territory. And you're making me laugh. Okay, so we'll group those together. Okay, so that's what it looks like. I think it's right. I'm pretty confident. I'm gonna get rid of this mess of a situation here, and we'll retest to make sure it's okay. So in this round we just corrected, we meaning me, I just corrected our center pointing without actually having to change anything below. And so we're going to take that to the bank. Okay, we're going to group that and see what happens. If it doesn't work, I'm going to take a break. But I can see all my guides now as I'm going around. And we're still only on the damn round number 15. Jesus, it's going to take forever. I still have to film all this stuff too. Okay, 360 degrees divided by 21 points should line up. Still does not line up. Why? What is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? That angle is not hitting. I don't know what's wrong. I'm going to take that piece and just duplicate it around and see what happens. (360 degrees) divided by 21 pieces. Huh. It's off ever so slightly, just by that little bit. It's to the point that bothers me. Okay, so was there any suggestions? Missouri at Silver Dollar City. Missouri at Silver Dollar City. Why have I heard of that name, Silver Dollar City? Is if it's at Silver Dollar City, is it an easy location to get to? Okay, I think that's better. So what I'm going to do is take out some stuff. Oops. I'd love to do another Nova Scotia like you're doing this summer, but always hard time matching up timelines. We are coming with you to Alaska, maybe a Mediterranean. We are thinking Mediterranean. We're just not sure if we need to be in that part of the world at this time because of obvious issues. Okay, so I think we're going to be good to go on this thing. I don't know if anybody ever heard the story, but Daniel and I got held hostage in Cabo, St. Lucas once on our second ever crochet cruise. And we got held hostage on the beach by what we thought was just peddlers, but it was a lot more serious than that. And I vowed to myself I'd never ever go back there, and I ended up going back there on one of the cruises, and I was terrified as hell. And they had a whole scheme going on where they would trap the tourists, and Daniel and I happened to be that person. There was actually 3 couples, and we were lucky's one of 3 couples that got trapped. So I think that was the answer. And there we go, finally. Anyway, so we're hosting crochet cruises, and we are trapped, and there's no way to contact anybody that we're in trouble. And it was hell. It was absolute hell. So anyway, we nearly missed our ship. They let us go within minutes of our ship departing. We had just barely enough time to group. We had barely enough time to get ourselves back to the ship to make our departure, and it was bad. Yeah. So anyway, so I'll tell you about it. Oh, interesting. So I'll tell you how they did it, though. It was pretty clever. They what they did is they had a system. It's probably changed since then. So we decided that we were going to save the fee. You know how the cruise lines, they charge you an excursion. So anyway, we thought we would be smart and save the fee of the excursion that they're going to charge for. And we decided to contract somebody on the pier. So that's wrong on its own, to save a few dollars, which was quite a savings, but it's what ended up trapping us there. So the Carnival, that was number 16. Let me just count the stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that was right. So Carnival ends up give me a moment. I'm just thinking. Back post. So Carnival ends up staying in Cabo St. Lucas twice, but during the evenings the ship leaves and then comes back in the morning. So it goes out just enough to open up the casino, and then it comes back into port in the morning. So we ended up contracting this guy by the name of Moses, and so we met him. He seemed pretty decent guy, and so he took us to Love Beach, which was connected. We did not realize that we could actually walk off this beach back to our ship. That was our first problem that we didn't realize. So anyway, he took us to our back post. So he took us to to the beach the first time, and he seemed really kind, and it was really good, and we were quite happy with the service. And he knew we were coming back the next day, because I guess the cruise ship is pretty much telling, they have a schedule on the way they do things. And so we end up saying to the guy, well, we're coming back, and the next day maybe we'll run into you again. So we end up going the second day, and he was there, and all was fine. And I just looking again. And he ends up finding us the next day. And so we're like, oh, this is great. Good service, you know, nothing's wrong. And so the way that they worked is that they end up having, you have to pay everything in advance. Okay, this is where I'm going to change the pattern. So this is going to be 24. So they work everything in, you pay in advance. So if you pay for them now, they will come back and come to get you at the end of your thing. So you say a time and then they come back. So the first day that worked wonders. He was back on time. Good. Second day, there was a whale that was in the harbor. And he says, I'll take you to the whale where all the rest of the boats are, but you owe me another $20. And because there was so many peddlers on the beach, we never brought more money than at the end. There was nothing to spend money on because it was Cabos at the time. It was not developed like it is today. So I said, well, no, we are, we're fine, and we don't need to see the whale, and we're good. And so he decides on his own that he's going to take us to see the damn whale. And so anyway, he takes us to the whale. We're really appreciative, but at the end, he was expecting money. And I told him at the time, we don't have money to pay for it because I never brought it with me. And he was pretty upset about it. So he says, I will see you back at 2 o'clock. No problem. See you back at 2. Everything is good, you know. And we get back like 15 minutes early, and we're sitting on the beach because they pull the boats right onto the beach. And we get there 1:45, and we waited. And we waited till 2 o'clock, no show. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. And we waited and we waited and we waited for this guy. And so he eventually did not show up. And so we waited to 2:30. And so we noticed that when we're sitting on the beach, we saw that there was a scam going on, but we did not know it until we were sitting there. And so what happens is that people get off their boats, and they these peddlers hold out their hats. They take off their hats, they hold out their hats, and they are asking for money. And tourist after tourist is forking out money because they help them get off their boats. And so originally when you go there, you say, oh, this is kind, this is great service, whatever. So you tip, you know, however you tip. But we had no idea until we were sitting there that it was a complete scam, that they're helping you get off your boat, which is fine. But what it was is that they were handing their money to this big guy. When I say he was overweight and he looked like he was in charge, so he was they're all handing their money over to this guy. So all of these people, like it was a ton of people. And so I realized that they're collecting money, but it's actually benefiting one person. And so we're sitting there, and 2:30 comes around. So because I'm watching this, I go to the guy and I say, our boat never showed up. What's the driver's name? His name was Moses. And he goes, oh, he'll be here any minute. Just be patient, sit back on the beach. And so anyway, I sat back down on the beach, and we're sitting and sitting and sitting. So now it's become 3 o'clock. We need to be on board the ship by 4 o'clock for departure. And because of the Cabos, they do not go to a dock. They're just out, and you have to get a tender boat to go out. So anyway, so 3 o'clock comes around, no Moses. So I go back up to the guy. The guy's not showed up. Oh, he's coming. Just sit back down. And so I sat back down, and at this time now there's 2 other couples where the driver of the boats has not returned. And so we thought, okay, maybe the drivers are not that smart, that we will try to sneak ourselves back onto a boat that we never came out on, and they'll never notice that we were there. Well, anyway, idiots. We get back onto this boat that we never came through on, and the driver, so we get halfway back to the pier where we're going to meet the tender boat to take us out to the ship. The driver realizes that he doesn't recognize us, turned the boat back around and dragged us off with those other people that are handed out with money, dragged us off the boat and put us down back on the beach. And so the big guy was really angry about it. He says, and I explained to him, we need to get back to the ship. You know, we have a party on board. You know, we're teaching and all this shit. Anyway, the guy doesn't care. And just give me a moment. If that's back post. If that's back post is turned that way. So anyway, so we realized that he says to me, well, you can't leave unless you pay $50 US to get off the beach. And it's then we realized that we're actually being held at the beach. And so he would not let us off the beach. And so he told us to go find other people from the cruise ship to go get money from these people and to get ourselves off the beach. And so he says, you can pay them back when you're on the cruise ship. Anyway, we don't know anybody. And because the ship is leaving at 4 o'clock, right? Time is running out, and the number of tourists that are left behind is getting really scary, right? Yeah. So I'm not talking about locations, no. So anyway, so well, I was earlier, but I'm not anymore. So anyway, so then we realized that we're stuck on the beach. So we were told to sit there and sit there and sit there. And so it's 3:30, and we have to be back on the ship by 4, or the ship is leaving without us. And so 10 minutes before departure, he released us from the beach. And Daniel, because our relationship was still relatively new at the time, I did not know that man had this anger. And it was unbelievable what we went through. And so we get onto the ship. We were the last people to arrive to the ship. And we were terrified, absolutely terrified. And so our crochet party that is on board is waiting for us. Where have you guys been? And I'm like, well, do I have a story for you? And it was hell, absolute hell. Yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of our. So anyway, I don't like Cabo San Lucas just for that reason alone. The fear that I felt when I was there was undeniable. So it turns out that at the end of the thing, because we had waited so long, the big boy that was holding all the money that all the peddlers were giving ends up having like a stack of money that was crazy. And he divided the money between all of the peddlers. So they all lined up in a single file, and he divided the money between the people. And then he ended up keeping a wad of cash for himself. And I realized that the whole system of them helping the tourists was just a ploy just to get money. And anyway, it was eye-opening. So our Panama crochet cruise ends up going to Cabo San Lucas, and I'm like, oh my God, I never want to step back there. I think a chipmunk ran in the house. So anyway, so that's kind of my long-winded story. Oh, God damn, it is a chipmunk. Oh. Go get it. Oh. Oh, God. Here, it's underneath there. Here, right here. Salty, look. Here, Salty. Get it. Go get it, puppy dog. Anyway, so that's kind of my story. So we have a chipmunk in the house now, so I'll let the dogs deal with that. The door is open, so it can find its way out if it wants to, but it's kind of cornered by Salty at the moment. And honestly, if Salty doesn't corner it, the cats are gonna. Puss ate a chipmunk the other day. The cats are probably in my room. Go get it, Salty. I can hear it. Even if the cats don't, the dogs don't find it, the cats will later. So the back on the front post, that's what this symbol is back post, front post. Are a little bit of a pain in the ass. And that was letter wing number 16. Letter wing. So I think I can actually 16 outer ring. And I think I can reflect that. Yep, it's pretty close. Get rid of these guys. So I started with the front post, just checking. Front post double crochet, post 5 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a total count of 2, 4, 6. It's 24 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 24 stitches. So I think I got it. Get rid of this guy out. We'll get rid of him. And now let's put these together. So what I'm doing is I'm grouping the symbols together so they stay together. And group. So do you see how it's gone from round to just a slight? That was what I was looking for. And we're going to rotate it around the center. $360 divided by 21 points. And that was it. Rid of this guy out. And new one, 16 outer ring. So that's going to be 17 outer ring. So the cat killed the cat killed it inside. Okay, so what do we got here? So we're in round number 17, 17 double crochets. We skip the 2 middles. Okay, so we're going to have I'm going to take this angle up and see what it looks like. So we actually are not changing the stitch counts. Okay, round number 17 is double crochet rounds, black. So there is the height. So you see how it's dipping down a little bit more? We're going to dip that down. And we also need to expand this guy, expand it, and ungroup. So we're going to take him up, and we're going to take him up with us. Approximately right there, approximately. And we're not expanding the number of stitches. So it's still only going to be 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's good. And let's copy these guys over. Group, arrange, transform, reflect. Does Daddy need tea? I'm on my way home now. No, I actually have a full tea. Thank you anyway, though. My tea's a little cold because I've been concentrating, Karen. Concentrating. I got up early this morning because of it's so nice outside. So light-wise. So I'm just putting the number of double crochets that I need. Okay. And then I'm going to take this guy over with me and turn it down the other side. Did you get it, puppy dog? Did you get it? I know. I know. I know. Oh, that's Salty. Salty. Such a good boy. Come here. Salty, come here for a second. Here. Let's see. I know. I know. I know. Okay, go outside. Go see Daddy. So anyway, in the original, in the last round, I had alternated. I had changed the instructions in Petzl on the paperwork, and that's what's caused my pattern to be misaligned. So anyway, so even though the original will not have, the original sample will have extra stitches, this one will not, because I've already done it twice before. So I guess Karen's calling me Daddy now. Mm-hmm. Right? Don't be jealous. So I'm kind of in a rush to get this done. So yarn separations yesterday surprised me. they had a new procedure that they started this year where the PDF is not going through design team, it's just staying within myself. And anyway, so we already done our first stitch along, and if you saw it, it was kind of a new layout with Yarn Inspirations. So anyway, so I thought I had time to work on this slowly because it's my own PDF, and it turns out that they want to see it everything done, so that designers can take a second look at it to make sure it's all okay. So anyway, I'm kind of in this rush now to get this thing done. Huh. How did that happen? How did that happen? How did that happen? How did that happen? That should not have happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There should actually be 16. There should be 13. This should actually be 26. This is wrong. Wrong. Why? Because I'm putting 2 stitches into the point, ungroup, and only skipping one at the base. So this here is wrong. So it's actually it's not 10, it's 11. I'm missing. No, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, talking to myself. So lunchtime with Mikey. Now, is it lunchtime already? Oh my God, it's 1 o'clock. You are right. So I have an extra stitch to go in here somewhere. Salty. So study reality. So what is it, Lena? What is it about the study that is making you want to do 2? What specifically? Is it the way the center is, or is it colors? I'm not adjusting the tops because I'm an idiot. I have to add one extra stitch in here. Doing 3 changes the stitches. It helps you keep focus, and it's the way that the center is. Somebody's Joy is commenting to that. Without tooting my own horn too hard, I actually enjoy making the center points of a blanket. So my guess is that this particular diagram work is going to take at least 2 days. So what's today? Wednesday. So I should be done by Friday. And then the blanket is sitting behind me on the mannequin. I got to weave in all the ends yet. But I can see people using the bitty stripes really in an interesting way for colors. Okay, there's one side done. I had to make room for an extra stitch that was missing. And while I'm here, that was round number 17. Round number 17 is 26 double crochets per petal. So actually, you know what that means? That's wrong too. So I'm currently tech editing. So that means that we did not have 10 stitches. How many did we have? We did 2 double crochet into the first, and then it says 1 into the next 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 11. So it's actually 11 double crochets. And the next 11, 11, 11, 11. Okay. Editing is here. So I'm over on the document that the Journey members can see on YouTube to alter the pattern. I originally had that there was 10, but there's actually 11. So the study of the journey. So it seems to be every time I touch a stitch along with purple, people get really super excited. What is it about purple that people like? I'm not saying it's my favorite color. So Wendy says the purple is her favorite color. Okay, Jenkins has got to go back to work. See you later. I'll still be here. Crying out my eyes and doing the damn thing. I used to, when I was a kid, other people probably did the same thing. You pretend that you're a school teacher and then you would make homework assignments and stuff. And I'm talking like I was probably like 6, 7 years old, and you make little sheets and, you know, check marks and the whole 9 yards. And here I am as an adult making stuff like this that ends up going to the public for being able to help to learn to crochet. Who would have thought it? So I'm a teacher without it, 4 walls of a classroom, where it's cyber, if anything. It's kind of neat when you think about it. I met this young man a few years ago, and he wanted to be the best damn sandwich maker on YouTube. And so the concept of, you know, these young people want to strive to be a celebrity is kind of over. It's kind of like the idea of, you know, wanting to do something and kind of enrich other people's lives through demonstration stuff. And I thought it was kind of fascinating how that's changed, because I've come from an era that you want to be like a celebrity, but today's they just want to be like a influencer, I suppose. Okay, so there's that one done. So this is number 17. Yes. Out. 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 And out. And out. Okay, get outside. It's sunny out. Go. So Jet is joining us today. Snarky says it's because purple is gorgeous. I'm working on a doily that turned center into a 12-point star, and then currently adding a pineapple stitch. I think you're capable of many things. If you want it bad enough, you'll figure out how to do it. My passive aggressive side, and I know some of you might be surprised, not. People say, I wish you would have figured out how to do it as a square. And so my response would be, oh, well, when you figure it out, you let me know. Okay. Oh, shit. We're going to group that together. Take that guy out and rotate 21 times. I think I've kind of made the mistake where this particular week is massive amount of rounds there are. But I'm on week 5 at this point for a stitch along, and I don't think I want to go 6 weeks. I think people just want to get it over with. Like Sex and the City. Let's just get it over with. Yeah. You know what I should have did in retrospect? I should have sank this down a little bit more, but I'm okay with that. For now. See, it's almost like a straight line. That was not intentional. I should have. No, I don't care enough to do that. Okay, so let's. What round are we on? Number 18. 18. Footer ring. So I think I'm going to have to exaggerate the point a little bit better than I have been. Take that up. And let's start really messing with the angles. I think that's better. What have we got? Number 18 is going to be double crochet. And we'll do blue. And we need to expand that one. Okay, so if we had so if we had 26 in the last round, this means that we have to have 28 in this one. So that was one group. Just push one there so I can see it. Okay, and the first one will be up here. Somewhere right there. So I need one more than I did last time. And 28. Let's go back to the pattern and update that. Oh shit, that means that that's wrong too. 28. So that means that we have 12 double crochets in a row. 12 and 12. I'm editing the main document again. So it's 12 giving us 28. Wow, I didn't even know Daniel knew how to text there, Wendy. That's new. When you want something. I don't even remember the last time he actually used texting. It's always Facebook Messenger. That's new behavior. 12. Now he's going to say, you should have asked her to do it. No. Okay, so there's my stitches. It's going to be double, oops. It's going to be double crochets. It's going to be blue. And it needs to be on the 18th layer. Okay, so we're gonna just. So I was very conscious when I designed this that I didn't have that I did not go through bells and whistles every time I was moving around on this thing. So some rounds are just double crochet rounds instead of having to do texture every time. So it makes some of the rows really stand out because some of it is lacking texture and others have full texture. Okay, let's turn. Okay, let me just verify. So there should be 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times 2 is 28. That's what I need. Oh, really? Oh, Jesus. Interesting. Karen is getting Daniel coffee. Who would have thought? Oh, now he's all happy. Jesus. Do. There we go. Hang on, I gotta look at this email that I just got in. Oh. I'm on live camera. I gotta behave myself. So, yeah. So Daniel did most of the diagrams that are in our book, but he lacks the attention to like really line things up because his boredom kicks in. And being on a computer is not, some people are meant to be outside, with nature, and so for him to sit and be fiddly like I am right now would literally have him climbing out of his skin. So anyway, so part of the transition after the book was done, I'm like, I need to learn how to do these crochet diagrams because I want to be proud of what I see. And so anyway, so that's how I learned all this stuff. Because my early diagrams, I wasn't as careful for lining stuff up, and then it becomes questionable, and then I look back at it later and say, oh, what a shitty job I did. So I'm pretty, retentive when it comes to this stuff. So this blanket, somebody's alluding to, Melissa. Oh, Melissa. It turns itself into a bouquet of flowers at the end. It's a study of complicated, and relationships are complicated. And so it's kind of like a peace offering blanket of handing somebody a bouquet of flowers, but it's actually a blanket. So I have to finish up all the flowers. So the flowers of the blanket actually look like that. Nice and simple. But I could see people wanting to put roses on there or something else. I didn't want to duplicate what I saw. I just wanted to do my own thing, and that's what I did. Yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of the evolution of crochet. So Daniel learned. We actually had a fight with one of our newsletter hosts that we used to have many years ago. So we couldn't afford Constant Contact, and we got named #1 company in North America for the most subscribers and the whole 9 yards, and we got named this. But to have a newsletter list is very, very expensive. They charge you per subscriber. So every time we put a note, say, hey, subscribe. So we had 125,000 people on our subscriber list, and we couldn't afford the number. So anyway, so we found another company called Malagen, and it was based out of Europe. And so we switched over, and it turns out it was such the biggest mistake we've ever done. And so we end up wrecking our newsletter because the news service was considered spam itself. And so our newsletter was not getting out, including even to myself. And Daniel was on tech support, I don't know how many days and weeks, to the point where we just said, screw it, we're done. So so then we end up switching over to MailChimp, and then we kind of just said, you know what, the evolution of a newsletter is over. And it was getting to the point where every company we were part of, they need a newsletter, And so I don't know how you feel about newsletter, right? So anyway, so we said, you know what, we think the future is not within the newsletter, it's within the social post itself. And so what we did is I think around 2016, we changed focus and said, you know what, the newsletter is a thing of the past. And our current website is using a newsletter that is auto-generating. And I can tell you a little bit about that. I'm pretty excited about that. So we decided that we were done with the newsletters. And so it released Daniel from having to sit there, because he would work on it for days of getting the newsletters done. And they actually look pretty good. But in the end, I don't think people really truly appreciated the amount of effort he was doing, and he felt the effect of it. And so he says he was done. I don't see my comment asking where my teaching comment went. I'm going to go ahead and go cause, because I think they're being deleted. Sorry, Mikey. I don't like things like that. I don't know what that means, because I'm just pointing and clicking. Anyway, so we got rid of the newsletter as a result of it, but our current website has what's called as auto newsletters. And so We have the ability to send a newsletter every day, but we don't do that. So our system sends a newsletter every day, but not you only see it once a week. So if you signed up on a Monday, you'll always get the Monday newsletter. And if you sign up Tuesday, it's always a Tuesday. And what it is the system is picking up content through AI to show you what you're missing. And so we don't have the ability to um, generate an email on our own. It's always through AI that is doing it on its own. And because of that, it saves us so much time that I can just focus on stuff like this instead of sitting here for hours generating a newsletter that people are not opening. And so if you go onto our website, thecrochetcrowd.com, and sign up for the newsletter, you get that itself. What it also is preventing us from doing, which I agree with as well, you may disagree, is that we don't have the ability to sell spots in a newsletter because it's being generated through AI. And so what it does is it keeps the newsletter advertising free. And I think it's a better experience for the user. I have a hard time with newsletters where there's really nothing newsy about it. It's all just advertising, buy this, buy that. And our newsletter is more inspirational based, which I really like. Okay, so we got this done. So I had a disagreement with one of a future partner that we were considering, and they want to have advertising in our newsletter, and I'm like, there is no spot for that because it's AI generated, and they're like, that is not possible, and I'm like, it totally is possible. It's what we do. I think there's a purpose for getting personal contact information, and how it's used I think matters a lot. I use the word prison, so I don't know if prison would be well, actually your comment is showing the word prison, so it's not that. We do um, we do have words that do trigger to auto delete. Prison, I can see this comment here, that's not one of them. One of the things, Jet, that you should consider is that in YouTube, the amount of porn that is flying in the comments is absolutely just mind blowing. And so, what we do here is to try to regulate some of the stuff so it's not as in your face. So it looks like it could be like that we are preventing you from being able to speak, but sometimes you may be using a word that a spammer, that a pornographic spammer is using, and because of that, words like cash, all of those kind of words. So I think I don't know, Wendy, I think there's like 120 words you cannot use with us, and it's because of the porn. It's unbelievable. So anyway, it ends up with what you're talking about. Is that people feel like they're being stifled, and it's only because we have a trigger word that a porno spammer is using, that's like a bot, and it is crazy. Like, it's totally crazy. Actually, I have a representative at YouTube. We had one spammer bot that was so bad that um, it was using language that the everyday person would use, and because of that, um, we could never get rid of them. So they weren't using any trigger words. Hey, how are you today? Um, but then they would post, their photograph would be them naked, which was part of what they were doing, and it became a really big to do, a real problem. And so anyway, but what I did notice, and that is that the this particular person that was our spammer that was doing it, their photographs, they could have a million different usernames, but the photograph was always the same. And it says, well, can you just like ban the photograph itself? And at the time, they never had the technology to do that, apparently. So it was quite something. And does it suck? Yeah, it does. Okay, so what we have now, double crochet back posts around the next, double crochet front post. You know what I'm realizing? The symbols, because I reflected, though they look right, they're not. The one side is backwards. Karen is here. So this symbol should have looked the same as this one. So because I reflected it, it was backwards. This is something that I'm glad I'm catching now, because this is something I probably would have missed. And I'm only doing it now because I'm having to do this thing again. In the round that I'm currently in. Oh shit, you know what that means? That means that the whole round is wrong. What a sin. So that the way it's looped there should be the same as there. Okay. So we are on currently. Oops. What round is that? That's round number. We're going to get rid of that. We have to get rid of that round. AI is everywhere. It's not just on your phone, it's everywhere. Hey, Karen.
Is to share our love of writing.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
What's going on?
Oh, hold on.
Why are you, like, if you're out, why are you watching my live?
What? I was listening to it in the car.
Oh, God. As I'm just yammering about my pattern.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to it in the car on my way back.
Oh, you poor thing.
I had to go to Greenwood, remember?
Oh, that's right. Oh, the rewards.
Well, I didn't go to Rewards. I just went to fabric store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get anything fun?
I got some vinyl to put over top of my table that's weathered out on my deck.
Yeah.
And I picked up some cotton to finish up my pride thing.
Yeah. Those leggings are cute with that outfit.
Thanks.
Yeah.
He said I'm cute. Look.
No, don't let it go to your head.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So yeah. So what else you up to?
Just puttering, getting some stuff done around the house, and going to stitch night tonight.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I have cadets next week, but we're off this week. So,
Well, this diagram is a pain in my ass, Karen.
well, so I can tell.
Yep.
Guys, keep them company. Get them like.
Yeah, whip that bitch in shape.
That's right. Dang it. But I thought you might need some tea.
Yeah, this one's almost full. I got a chipmunk in here.
Still?
Yeah.
It's not moving?
No. No, I think it's
Salty
over by
got
the
it?
miniature section. No.
Oh.
No.
That's what happens when you leave the door open.
I know. Excuse me.
Anyway, I'll be on my deck. I might sew on my deck today.
So.
Yeah. Get the sewing machine on the deck.
Mm-hmm. So you went all the way for fabric.
Well, no, I had to go to the base.
To the okay, I was good.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Now
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. I had to go get a new driver's license thingy from the base.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done my civic duty.
Yep.
Bye all. You know where I am.
Yeah. Yeah. On your deck.
I'll be listening
Sewing.
after I put the stuff on the table.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay, see ya. Yeah. And there she goes. Outside sounds lovely. Outside sewing. Well, outside does sound lovely, but the sewing part, not so much. So I'm just doing that correction. 360 degrees divided by 21. But now I got two big T's. I'll be drowning in tea by the end of the day. Oops. Command. There we go. Done. And then we'll put the other ones back. Okay, so what do we got here? So we're gonna do the front. Okay, so we got to do. Well, we're on I'm on number. No, I'm not there. So I'm on round number 19. Okay. Number 19. Outer ring. So it's just steep tea. Tim Hortons Canada has a tea they call it steep tea. It's kind of some kind of I think it's their own recipe. So I think it's like a black tea. But I swear to God, it has crack cocaine in it because there's something in there that just makes you just spin out of control. Okay, so it's. Anyway, as soon as I have it, it's just like your eyes just open right up and you're just 30 stitches. And I need to count the number of times it happens. I'm just back over in the document that the journey members can see. So does it help if you give your hands a squish ball for a few minutes? Depends what kind of ball you're talking about there, Lauren. She's so bad. Okay, so we're gonna do. So I think it's 30. So we're gonna have that one, that one. Object. So it's one more. So I think it's. So 15. So 13. Oops. So my friend Lauren, that's here, Lauren Parchin, our Parchin, she is a personal friend of mine, Anyway, she's so bad. She comes across as like, I'm innocent until it comes out of her mouth. It's so much fun. It's probably why we're good friends. Actually, I know that's why we're friends. Yeah. Who innocent little me? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna do back post first. Oh, for the love of God. I used trebles. I did not use. Oh, hey, Cindy, what's going on? What is with everybody showing up at my house?
You just said, come over and say hi.
Oh, what's going on in your life?
I'm just doing, I planted all the stuff he gave me
Oh, come on over here.
yesterday.
I'm live on camera. So,
Oh.
Anyway, this is my. You bend down. This is my really good friend Cindy. She is bad too.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, please. She's got the best stories. She
Oh,
ruined
my gosh.
She ruined the bathroom at the superstore.
That was ugly.
Oh my God! Right from the chocolate section
Oh,
all the
my
way to the
God.
bathroom.
Hershey squirts. Here you go, baby. Like this. My most embarrassing public moment.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad.
That one ply is just not enough.
Yeah. Needless to say, my underwear were never the same. They ended up in the garbage can at the superstore. It was a super load.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It was pretty bad. I've never had that happen.
Really?
So, oh my gosh.
After all these years?
After all these years, 71 years later, it's like, holy cow. Yeah, it was not pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at you though. So you're working on?
I'm working on a pattern for stitch along for this
Right on.
for this blanket.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Busy.
So you got more plants from Daniel?
He gave me a whole bunch of plants, all kinds of herb gardens. So as a surprise for Maureen, she bought a hemlock above ground stand-up
Okay.
thing. So I filled it all with all the plants he gave me, and then planted all the eggplant, marigolds, all the other stuff. He gave me a whole bunch of stuff. So
Wow.
all in the ground.
Why is he being so kind?
Well, have you seen his greenhouse? It's full. It's full.
Well, he's a little man, overcompensating with a lot of plants.
Gosh, he's got a lot. But the garden looks gorgeous. The colors are really starting to pop. And
can you believe that was the field when we moved here?
yeah, that's pretty amazing. It's quite the
unbelievable.
transformation. So
It is.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do the same on ours, but on a smaller scale.
Well, the only tree that was
Yeah.
here was that one tree right there beside
This
the wall,
right here.
and
Yeah.
then the 5 or 6 maple trees. Everything else was.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
gorgeous.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but
I know.
it'll pay off big time.
You think
And
so?
oh my gosh.
I worry about selling a house and somebody's gonna say, "I don't want the work." Because that's
Well-
what happened in the last house.
Well, the right person will come along, or a group of people.
Yeah, you just need an old person going in here that wants to putter because
Yeah.
it's all done.
That's me.
Yeah.
I even manure my own garden.
You're gonna have to eat a different kind of roughage.
Oh man.
Actually, I saw a joke last night on the reels with Tim Conway that his wife is making him eat so much roughage that he's shitting wicker furniture.
I miss him. He was very, very cool.
There's a chipmunk in here.
There is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's a Benny Hill episode, I'm telling you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, so Wendy, my assistant Wendy's here. Wendy LCM. This is my good friend Cindy. She's one of our. We call ourselves the Greenwich Kids.
The
We're in the
Greenwich
village
Kids.
of Greenwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
300 total people.
300
huh?
people. And this is the village idiot with my co-assistant.
Stand in for village idiot. Head shitter.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, it happens to all of us.
Oh well.
Actually, I did that at that.
You did that live. You said.
I did that at PetSmart a few weeks ago.
Really?
Oh God, it was horrible. I swear to God, they're gonna have to repaint. I don't know what hit me. Just
Wow.
yeah.
Splatter, splatter. What's the matter?
I had to leave my
Ah.
shit at the cash because I checked out and I said I need a bathroom
Oh my god.
immediately.
Yeah. When it hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said if that door is locked,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's gonna be hell to pay in the aisle.
I'm telling you. Oh, What do you got? Did you get it?
No.
Frida would have a field day. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Squirrel in the house.
Yeah, Salty chased it in here.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just a little. Is it a chipmunk or a squirrel?
It's a chipmunk.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they're.
And well, Puss Puss just ate one a couple days ago. She eats a ton of them. I'm surprised we even have it.
Really?
I'm surprised we even have a family here.
Huh. Well,
That girl's always chewing down on something.
no.
Karen is asking to send you to her house after.
Okay. I thought she had cadets today.
No,
Oh.
no, she's.
Is
no.
it over with for now, or
I don't.
summer break?
I don't. She's on camera right now, so I want to say it's over. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I think it might be over for the
Okay.
season.
I'll go stop there next.
Yeah.
I'm on my way to the can depot.
The what?
The can depot. Cash. Get my $4 worth of refund money.
Can Depot?
That cash.
The recycler. Okay.
I promise I won't leave a little deposit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So there you go. So anyway, okay, so what was my problem? I did something. I made those into trebles. Oh my god. So that's my good friend Cindy. We met Cindy. We did New Year's party, and her wife noticed my glasses and then followed me to my table to meet my friends. And anyway, so then we ended up meeting Cindy, I think, because Cindy was a traveling nurse. So Cindy and Maureen are both traveling nurses. And so they worked up in the Arctic, and that's where they met each other. And anyway, it's all been downhill from there. Anyway, Cindy's the kind of woman you want in your life. She's American, and she is basically the whole. She's from San Francisco, and that woman, the amount of stories and the people that she's met, is just absolutely astounding. And she's the kind of person you want in your life, honestly. And I think she just turned 71. But I hope I'm that agile when I get to 71, because she doesn't slow down. So for those that are coming to Nova Scotia on the bus trips, you're going to meet her. Actually, July will not meet her. August will. She has a cottage somewhere, so she'll be away. I think I found the chipmunk. Oh shit. Sloppy right here. Okay, let's all go outside and calm down a little bit. Anyway, I still have a chipmunk in my house. I might as well fix this guy while I'm at it. Accidentally. So the double lines, for those that are not familiar with stitches, means that it is a treble. So it's double. If there's just one, it's treble. Some people think it's called triple stitch. It's not. It's called treble, as in it's all about the base, no treble. So that extra line changes the meaning of the stitch. And so it means that you have to wrap the hook twice before going into the stitch. So when it's double crochet, you only wrap the hook once and going into the stitch. So this is it's also the representation of how many stopping points there are on the way back through. So when you wrap and going into the stitch, so if it's double crochet, you wrap and go into the stitch, pull through, and then you pull through 2 and then 2. It's the first pull through 2, which means that line. And then so it's the first one. So after you pull through the stitch, you pull through 2. That's what that line means. It's pulling through the 2. So when it's a treble, you wrap the hook twice, going into the stitch, pull through, then pull through 2 and 2. So that 2 and 2 represents the 2 lines at the stopping point before you get back to the top of the stitch. That's what that means. Now, whoever thought of that, who knows? And my commitment to the crochet diagrams is ridiculous. And I do that intentionally because it means that I can serve people in India and Turkey and Russia and all of these people across the world, because you don't need to know English. You just need to know what the symbol means. So that's why we back everything up with a crochet diagram, so that it's open to the globe for interpretation. It's like if you pick up an Asian crochet diagram, the symbols are pretty close. And if it's slightly different, you just look it up what it means, and then you know what it is. So we just corrected that. So we have Jaime is joining us today, all the way from California. Is that grapey bitty stripes behind me? It is. Yes, it totally is. Okay, so we're back now to where we were. So we are right here, and we are on round number 19. Right there. And we're starting off with the double crochet back post. Before this is a back post with that. So last time we started off with the front post. We're starting off with the back post first. So I'm just going to place it in. Just hit that angle. We'll do all of our fine stuff there. So what's going on over in Jaime's life over in California? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm going to change the distance of the stitches. Oops. Your pattern chaser here. Really enjoying seeing the whole process. Oh my God, why am I keep deleting that? Why am I doing that? So those that are late joining a party, we got a chipmunk down here in the studio. And the dogs are circling the wagons. And we're going to take this guy here and rotate it. He's number 1 and number 2. So I learned the lesson last time that it's got to be polar opposite of each other. And these guys got to be black. Black. And they got to be part of number 19. So what is a pattern chaser? I haven't heard that expression. You can't wait to see how this works out. I know, me either. Okay. So I need to make sure that I have the right amount of stitches. So I got 2. There should be 6 pairs. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, we're going to go here. Okay, so we're going to copy these guys and go in the opposite direction. So this will be pair number 2, pair number 3, pair number 4, pair number 5, pair number 6. Okay, there's a problem. What's the problem? I'm missing a stitch right here. I'm missing a stitch. I'm missing a stitch right there. I am wondering if I should just say skip 2 instead, or skip 4 instead of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm missing a stitch. I'm just reading my hard notes that I wrote when I was at the resort. It looks like I made a mistake here. These should be over by 1, and we're going to start off with the front post right here. We're going to start off with this guy. So that means that these guys are off too. I don't think Wendy's ever been to Nova Scotia. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Let me just alter that on my document. Number 19. One double crochet front post around first post. Skip 2 stitches. One double crochet back post around next post. And this is 30. Okay. And now back. How far am I from Oak Island? I think I'm an hour north of Oak Island, just a little bit over, just over an hour. I've never been there, but I know of it. I hear people talking about it. There's really nothing to Oak Island too, from what I understand. Meaning that there's not a lot going on. So I hear there's a TV show. I have never seen it. I know I'm such a bad Canadian. It may be on streaming, so I can't afford real TV. So we only stream. I did have TV for a bit, and I was finding myself with the news on all the time. It was making me manic. Everybody has an opinion, but no solutions. So I have some friends that, so the Nova Scotia, we will be passing by Oak Island, but you will not see Oak Island from the bus. So there's certain things for the Nova Scotia trip that I really wanted crocheters to see. And so that's kind of what's happened to the list. And then Karen injected her own flair on what she thinks crocheters would love to see. And with the combination of two of it, we have a great bus tour. We did put a stipulation of no walkers, no canes, all of those kind of things, because where we're going to head off to is some of it's very historic. And unlike other areas, Nova Scotia only has 1 million, just over 1 million population for people. And so a lot of the areas are not touched by humanity. And because of that, the beaches and stuff are very how they're supposed to be and not manicured. So there are bus tours that people can take if they want that kind of experience, where they always keep you on a path where there's mobility considerations. But our goal is to take people off the beaten path and make the trip very unique in that setting. Because if we just stay to the paths where it's all mobility able, we end up just duplicating what other people are doing instead of creating a unique experience. One of the locations that we have, people have their own cottage. So we're going to have a little neighborhood of all these cottages. We have a total of 54 guests with us. So the cottages are always it's going to have a little neighborhood of crocheters with their cottages at the one resort that we have booked. But it's now currently June and the weather is hit or miss, and it's not until really July and August that the weather is really decent temperature wise and expectations. So that's why we waited till summer. So currently it's apple blossoms here. So we're just filled with orchards where we live. We're in, if some people know Niagara on the Lake, we're kind of in the wine district, wineries and orchards. And anyway, if you come too early, you don't see anything. And if you come too late, then, it's past. So there's a fine line of making sure that people get to see what they want to see. Right. So Race Around the World is a Brit TV show that went to different provinces. Last one was Nova Scotia and PEI. So Prince Edward Island is only 4 hours, less than 4 hours from my home here, and is a good day trip, even just to go out and just spend the night in the hotel over in Prince Edward Island. But Prince Edward Island, when it's not summertime, they roll up the sidewalks. So it's not a place that you would go to. It's almost like what you see on TV when they show the Hamptons. When it's off season, it's not as desirable to be in a place like that. So anyway, so next year we're thinking about PEI as a stomping ground for our trip. We're only going to do one bus. We think it's going to be kind of tough to get reservations, but we're in process of that. When I say reservations, I mean hotel space, because it's such a small place that the one hotel that we saw, I think they said they have 150 bus tours come through there. It was something ridiculous, and I'm like, holy cow. So for us to have space there would be interesting, to say the least. And our bus tour would fill like 60% of the hotel if it's not already booked. So we're just not sure if it's possible. And then anything after Labor Day for Prince Edward Island is a hit or miss, weather-wise, but also what's open. So Karen and I went there in in January, and I had no idea that they rolled up their sidewalks. Things are boarded up, and so the beautiful town that you see in the summer is not the same town in the winter. Still pretty picturesque, but it's not the same. Everything's pretty much closed. So I grew up in on a fairground, as most people know it, and it was a seasonal fairground. And anyway, during the winter, we still lived in the town. I think there's like 100 people that live there or something crazy, stupid like that. And anyway, so I've always lived in very small, like I'm in the town of the village of Greenwich here. We only have 300 people here. So I've always kind of lived in very small communities throughout different parts of my life. And so it's what I prefer. I did the city for a bit, but it's not my passion. I'd rather have the quiet life. And so anyway, the winter, the sidewalks get rolled up. So after Labor Day, the whole town turns into nothing. So anyway, I have to go. Daniel's asking, and I will see you in a bit.